everyone. Welcome to Morning Laziness. This is Nilima KS, and today we are bringing to you an interview session with Ms. Rita Kakati-Shah. Morning Laziness is an online magazine dedicated to women. It showcases various articles, personal life stories, and interview sessions on different matters concerning women. And today, our interviewee, Ms. Rita, happens to be the CEO and founder of UMA. So let us welcome our interview. Hello, Rita.
Hi, Nilima. Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board with us today. So how are you doing today?
Doing very, very well. I'm here in New York City and I'm enjoying life. How are you, Nilima?
I'm doing good too. Interesting. So now you're an entrepreneur. So being an entrepreneur is indeed challenging. So how do you normally begin your day?
Well, I have to tell you, no 2 days are the same. Being an entrepreneur, it's literally like chalk and cheese at times. There are no set hours. I do deal with different locations around the world. So even the time zones, I'm working across timelines as well. What I like to do is have structure within what I can control in the day. And that structure usually begins with a team meeting with whichever office I'm locating at the time. So once a week it would be with my West Coast, my LA office, and then the New York office, the UK office, and then my India office. So it would be stinted, spread out during the day, during the week, and we work on different projects together. And then we work on that. And it's all different. You have to be very flexible and open-minded as an entrepreneur.
That's great advice. Well, what made you smile today?
What made me smile? Oh, you know what? I have 2 small kids and a pandemic puppy, so 3 little ones, I should say. And every morning they just make me smile, they make me laugh. They remind me who I am and what's important in your life. So without a doubt, it's always it.
Right. So what did you have on your breakfast platter today?
Oh, this morning, what did I eat? Well, it was a bowl of cereal. And I love fruit. So I had strawberries and blueberries with that.
Oh, berry sounds so yummy. Right. So you are from New York City. So how exactly is New York?
New York is great. It's buzzing. It's the city that never sleeps. I don't sleep as a result of that, I think, being an entrepreneur as well as that. But it's a great place. It's home now. I'm from London originally, so again, very similar, very cosmopolitan, and that's my life.
That's great. So we're done with the intro. Now let's move on to some questions about UMA, as I'm even more eager to learn more about UMA. So what exactly is UMA? How did you come about establishing this platform as such?
So I started UMA really in response to my own personal and professional journey. I started my career in finance. I was there for 10 years. I then transitioned into the pharmaceutical industry where I was leading business development, which means I got to travel here, there, everywhere and meet really cool thought leaders in different drug therapeutic areas within the central nervous system. Those travels brought me to New York, which is where I now live. And I had 2 small children who are now 7 and almost 9. And I really started UMA in response to my journey as being a full-time mom. I took around 3.5, 4 years off just to raise them. And I've got to tell you, Nilima, out of all the jobs I've ever done, being a mom was by far the most challenging. You know, you are not just working 24/7, you are constantly sleep deprived. There's a lot going on all the time. And you learn so many skills as a result of that. I became a better communicator because I understood communications isn't just about talking to a room. It's about reading the room, it's about empathy, it's about listening. So there's a lot of these skills I learned that resulted directly as a result of me now being another full-time job. I just wasn't getting paid for it. So I started really UMA as a connection from the paid workforce and this workforce and really building up the skills of confidence, leadership, communication in women and minority groups and building that bridge with companies on their strategy of how to do so.
You sound like a very bold woman with a great mission, and I think UMA is gonna, help you out to achieve the same. I hope.
Thanks for saying that, and it's ironic you say bold because our tagline is "Be bold, be you, be UMA," because that's really the ethos of who we are as a company.
Right. So, what are the upcoming programs you're planning to introduce, perhaps through UMA this year?
Oh, we actually have so many things coming up. So we just launched our own merchandising. I'm actually wearing Goddess of Go-Getting right now. We have a whole line there. And Goddess of Go-Getting is really our theme, because when you build that inner confidence, when you become empowered as an individual, you are that inner goddess, that goddess Uma that we like to see inside everyone. You are a mom, you are a daughter, you are a sibling, you are a wife, you are some role in society that is that goddess. We really like to promote that. Also launching a book on International Women's Day called The Goddess of Go-Getting. So I would say keep your eyes out on that. It's for women, it's about empowerment, it's about leaders, it's about diversity and inclusion. It's a book that everyone has to have in their hands to really make a difference and feel that change-making ethos that you have as well. So we've got those exciting updates coming up in the year. So keep an eye out.
Sure thing. So how would you like to guide our women readers to join Uma?
I would say anyone can join just because of who they are. You know, you have advice to offer, you want to get advice for yourself, come and join our community. You know, we are global in nature, we have experiences from everywhere, and our community is about giving back, empowering others. So come and join the community or explore ways of getting, if you want any help from us, whether you're trying to explore your empowerment journey or trying to become that confident self, or you're trying to explore how to get ahead in the workforce, whatever it is, we're here to help you.
That's great. Now, what exactly is the Umaships?
Umaship, so that's something we work on with companies. So when folks are trying to reintegrate themselves back into the paid workforce, we advise companies a lot on the strategy. It's not just a matter of saying, okay, you can start, you're on your own. There's a bit of an onboarding journey. We give confidence training. We really help with mentoring. We help with building up those skills to transition back into that workforce. From the company's perspective, we spend a lot of time with managers. We spend a lot of the time with the team on helping that new person integrate back into the workforce again.
Interesting. Well, do you think it's fair enough for companies to inquire females to provide a reasonable explanation over the break they had taken to build a home, after getting a job? Like I've seen many resign after reaching the peak in their career, and they have taken that break to build a home. So do you think it's fair enough for companies to ask women for an explanation over that and charge them based on that?
Well, here's the thing, that's the reality, and that is the bias that exists. When somebody sees somebody with a gap on their resume and that reason is motherhood, there is a bias. And actually you're 50% less likely to be even called for a job interview according to Harvard Business Review because of that, rather than if that break had been because you got fired from your job. Because there is something, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, but you see that gap and you think, oh, somebody chose to leave their career. They cannot be ambitious anymore, rather than poor, hardworking person, they were let go by their employers. That's not up to them. So there is that bias that exists. I would say when you go into an interview, a job interview, rather than take it as a negative, think, why are people asking you that question? Flip it around. Are they asking it because they're trying to catch you out? That may be the case, but think of it, why are they asking? They probably want to know, can you get the job done? Are you going to be reliable in the workforce? So you've just got to say, what is your plan? If you bring up in introduction that you happen to be a parent and you've got kids, they might be one fun. What happens if there's a sick day? Are you going to disappear? You're going to take time off work? It's actually a valid question, because from the company's perspective, they want to know, can the work get done? From your perspective, you just want to say, look, I've got my caregiving in place. I have the support network. I have this, I have that. And at the end of the day, you just to show how hardworking you are and that you can get the work done. So I think companies ask what they ask. The only way that stereotype is going to change if you respond in a positive and empowered manner.
Right. How do you provide corporate training for your clients?
So we usually start off with a strategic approach first. We're not into just putting on bandages. We are into finding out where the leak is coming from. So the corporate training is very much based upon what their strategic consulting is first. And it could be things like, building up confidence. It could be things like, how do you increase that culture of success in the company? It could be talking about bias. It could be talking about something specific about privilege or something on diversity. It really depends on those actual needs that the company is facing.
Right. Now, as a female entrepreneur, did you find it challenging to establish Uma, or how did you overcome them?
I didn't find it challenging at all. It was such a passion of mine. The only thing I would say is I have a red nose, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're always going to get the door closed in your face. So I would say getting used to hearing no a lot is something you have to get used to. Was I challenged by it? it was challenging, but not in a negative way. It actually gave me more passion to work even harder.
That is so motivating.
Thank
Right.
you.
Now, right. So where do you see Uma in the next 10 years?
Oh, this is something that is, grown from an idea or concept to make the world a better place for women and for minority groups. So I only see Uma growing, and I would love to see the message grow and everyone, everywhere, build and embrace those philosophies that Uma believes in. So I think it's just onwards and upwards, really. And I cannot wait to see the explosive growth of this phenomenon, of this empowerment, of really empowering and helping women grow in the future.
Interesting. Who has influenced you the most in your life?
I have so many influences. I have, lots of mentors, role models that I've looked up to. I think ultimately it's my parents, though. From childhood, they've always had an ethos of giving back to others before you look to take for yourself. So I think that philosophy has always been part of who I am, and really part of why I do what I do, and why giving back to others, building up a business mind, but one that helps to promote and give back to others is ultimately what I do. So I think my parents, my mum, obviously, my dad, and my brother as well, my family, it's been really, really I had the cohesive process from all parts.
Lastly, what do you think this world needs the most?
What do you think this world needs most? I think more people just to understand other people's viewpoints. If everyone stopped to listen first, but not listen to just one inside one ear and out the other, listen to actually absorb, think, and understand where other people are coming from, things would be very different.
So on that note, you come to the end of this interview session. I had a great time talking to you, and it was a pleasure for us to have you here with us. We truly appreciate your time and patience. And thank you, audience, for joining us today. We hope you loved it.
Thank you so much, Nilima.